Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever, whenever you are, welcome. You're listening to Just My 2 Cents. It's Monday, August the 7th, 2023. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone had a good weekend. Welcome to the show. It's Monday, so that means another recap. This week's edition will be recapping UFC Nashville. Took place in the heart of Tennessee, boys. It went down. It was a fight card. Certainly wasn't the best fight card that's ever been. Probably one of the lamer fight cards of the year, honestly. I don't know if I can say it's the worst card that's ever been, but other than a few moments, it was just a lot of decisions, a couple really fucking boring ones. There were a couple good fights, though. So it wasn't, like I said, it's not the worst card I've ever seen, but just wasn't really spectacular. And I'm sorry. There's some cards that just aren't good. They aren't good on paper. They don't end up delivering. Feel like people sometimes have this obligation to like, oh, I can't say anything bad about the fight cards or the fighters. They're just so shit scared to like level any kind of criticism against the UFC or any fighter. It's just, I love every fighter. I respect them all and love them all like personal friends. And the UFC, I love the UFC and I love Dana, and every card they put on is great, and it's just a big dar thing. But kind of sucked. Fight card kind of sucked. But it was a successful weekend betting wise. It was a pretty good weekend as far as predictions. I enjoyed the results of the card. But from a fan perspective, if you were just watching this as a fan or a casual fan, it fucking sucked. It just, period. But we're going to talk about it. I'm going to go through the fight card from the bottom to the top, tell you what I thought about the decisions and what few finishes there were. So join me, won't you? I've got my coffee pot. Got my thoughts ready to go. It was a good weekend for me. My brother and his family came into town. Took my niece down to Ocean City. Went to the inlet. She rode all the rides. She didn't want to do anything else. She didn't even want to eat candy. We took her on one ride and it was over. All she wanted to do was fucking ride rides. She, like a kid turning down candy. That's how one-track minded she was. But she had a blast, man. We all had a good time. It was good to see the fam. We're going to do it again next year. We're going to go for a whole week next year. So it was a little preview. taste of things to come. I think everyone had a good time. It was a nice, enjoyable weekend. Ate some good food. Went to the boardwalk. So yeah, man, good weekend overall. I hope y'all had a good weekend as well. And right now it's just me. So yeah, whoever sees us back, hope y'all had a good one. Smash the like button whenever you do see this. Give it a like, give it a view, give it a comment. That's all you can ask for, man. But we are at 250, so shout out to everyone that has subscribed to this channel. If you are new, make sure and do that as well. Cheers, boys. So let's talk about UFC Nashville. Actually, before we do that, since there's nobody in here, let me just get this out of the way. And anyone that comes in here, if you want to talk about this again, I don't mind. But this is just going to be the recap. I'm not going to do any real looking at the next card until the stream ends. And then I'll do my my bets and my tape study and all that tomorrow. Start looking at it tonight, but really get into it tomorrow. So yeah, before we get into UFC Nashville, while there's nobody in here, let's talk about this. This is what actually happened after. This is what actually happened after UFC Nashville. I predicted a doctor stoppage, but I'm going to give Nate's face credit. I don't know if it was the boxing gloves, the bigger, somewhat softer surface compared to an MMA glove. Maybe that's why he didn't cut up as bad as he usually does. But he didn't really get cut much at all, which is crazy. What did happen, though, is his eyes swelled up like pretty bad. I'm actually credit to Nate for like his face, like not getting doctor stop. Man, that was like the most impressive thing to me about Nate's performance. It's not like he looked like terrible. He just kind of looked like Nate Diaz. And Nate's like close to my age. So I knew he was going to be slower. I knew Jake was going to hit harder. I knew he'd beat him to the punch. And he pretty much did. There were a couple like moments where, Nate's famous cardio came through. It kind of became like a war of attrition, and he would start to wear Jake down a little bit, land some flurries. But the problem is Nate doesn't have any power. He never has. And with the boxing gloves, that was also a problem for him. It's like, yeah, in MMA, that death by 1,000 cuts, when it starts to add up, they've got a little bit more of a sting on them. With the boxing gloves, when you can kind of block, it's easier to block too with boxing gloves. It's a bigger surface to, bounce a punch off of. So with all that added in, thrown in together, it was never really gonna go in Nate's favor. I gotta give Jake Paul credit, dude. Like, his cardio was, I mean, the guy's fighting Nate, a dude with pretty much endless cardio, and he didn't really gas out that bad. Of course, he got tired. Like, it's 10 rounds of boxing. You're not going to be as fresh in 9 and 10 as you are in 1 and 2. It's just, no human is really like that. So yeah, overall, it was pretty much what I thought it was going to be. But like I said, I got to give Nate's face credit, and also, I'm glad that his eye was looking rough, dude. His eye started to swell up in like the 3rd or 4th round because Jake kept landing left hooks, and the jab was kind of popping him in the eye too. So yeah, man, credit to both of them. It was a reasonably entertaining fight like I said, it was about what I thought it was going to be. But yeah, Jake Paul gets it done. I don't think the scorecards were really that controversial. I had Nate winning like 2 rounds, maybe 3. Pretty clear victory for Jake Paul, the 10-8 in the second round. Or I think it was the second round. He dropped Nate really bad, though, dude. I thought he knocked him out. I thought it was going to be another Joe Smith Jr., Bernard Hopkins, where he literally like fucking knocked him out of the ring. But Nate caught himself. So credit to coming back and fighting after that, because he dropped him hard, dude. Like a check left hook right on the top of the dome. And Nate went down pretty bad. Like tried to catch himself the first time, then like doubled over and almost went through the ropes. Luckily, he caught himself, but yeah, solid knockdown. Pretty clear win for Jake Paul. I don't hate Jake Paul as much as a lot of people do. I'm not like his biggest fan or anything, but I've enjoyed watching the obnoxious, casual as motherfuck MMA fans get their little butts hurt. Watching Jake Paul beat all these like heroes that they like. It's like you don't. So a lot of these kids, you ain't fucking seen half of Nate Diaz's career live. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You're just repeating what all these people say, and it's cool to like Nate Diaz. I get it, dude. It's cool to like Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson and all these fucking, weird tough guys. It's like I get it, but like I said, it was pretty much exactly what I thought it was going to be. But like I've said this so many times, man. I'm almost getting sick of saying it. Go look at any other pro boxer just starting out. Their first 10 wins are going to be against the biggest fucking tomato cans you have ever fucking seen before. And a lot of times, you ain't even going to know they exist until they hit about fight 15. They start getting hyped up on ESPN or Showtime or whatever. But yeah, the difference is Paul's so famous because of social media. Every single one of his fights is going to be a bigger deal than it normally would be for a normal novice pro boxer. Like Jake is getting to be a decent level amateur boxer. He's decent. He has decent amateur skills. He has decent, like he can throw and do all the basics at a decent, competent level. And he's taking winnable fights. That's another thing where it's like, y'all are just, your casual is like, pull your slip is showing, dude. Your casual slip is showing. Of course he's going to take a winnable fight. It's like, you saw what happened when he fought Tommy Fury. Tell your fucking heroes to stop taking the fights with him then. Your personal friends. Oh yeah, you're not personal friends with them because you don't fucking know them at all. You weirdos act like you know these guys in real life. They don't give a fuck about you. They're trying to get a bag of money. Like I said, dude, Nate Diaz is my age. Nate, he just went in there and did what he does. He knew he lost. He even said he lost. So it's like people are out there like, I'm not saying this, there's a lot of people say, oh, Nate won or anything like that, but it's just the same corny, like, oh, well, he won the bat, he won in life, or he won. Just shut up. He almost got his block knocked off by a fucking Disney kid. And doubled over in front of everybody. Had to catch himself so he didn't look like fucking Bernard Hopkins getting his ass literally fucking knocked through the ropes. I mean, that's pretty much what, like, he fell and he almost went through the ropes, dude. So that whole like, oh, if this was a real match, like Nate would guillotine him. It's like, of course he would. But Nate decided to take this fight in front of everyone and ended up fucking looking down at the canvas like, oh shit, almost just went through the ropes. Oh shit, there's the floor. There's the edge of the canvas. There's the floor. Oh shit, I almost just fucking hit the deck for real. So like, no, he didn't win. The only thing he won was a bag of money. And I'm not even mad at him for it. But like, no, Nate didn't win. He got fucking tuned up and dropped by a Disney kid. And it makes me laugh because these motherfuckers think he's going to, like, do y'all not realize what you're watching? This is like a vehicle. This is like, these are very carefully selected fights. Even Tommy Fury, they wanted to make sure that at least Tommy had enough, like, okay, this is like a legit, like, novice pro boxer. So Jake losing to him Tommy clearly won, but it was reasonably competitive. Like, it wasn't complete one-way traffic the entire time. So yeah, I think that's a good like watermark for Jake Paul. Like, yeah, you still got some shit to work on. You're still pretty much an amateur, but like decent level amateur. There's worse amateurs out there for sure. And it's like he's starting to put the basics together. timing his check left hook, getting more consistent with his jab, learning his way around the ring a little bit better, learning when to clinch up in the right spots, learning when to get on his bike, stick and move, be the outfighter. Hey, dude, Jake's starting to fight decent on the inside too, man. Starting to pop that uppercut in there, push off and pop that uppercut. Hey, he's starting to put it together. But it's just the expectations that people have for him. What happens is Jake beats someone's hero. They get pissed about it. And then it's like, oh, what? Now you need to fight fucking Maris Breedis. You need to fight fucking Okoli. You're just like, what do you want him to do? I don't get that. But yeah, I just want to get that out of the way first. What's up, West Stance? So people don't hate Jake Paul. I disagree with that. People definitely hate Jake Paul. They just hate how he's cherry picking over the hill fighters. And that's what I'm saying. Like, of course he is. Of course he is. But like, look at any other real legit pro boxer that actually has aspirations. And look at who the first 10 dudes they fight are. Bums. Dudes that are like 4-15. Or winless, completely winless. It's like he's just in a higher, like, of course he's going to pick winnable fights. Of course, dude, that's all you do until like 15, 20 fights in is fucking cherry pick. That's boxing. It's just because Jake has this huge following, he's going to make these fucking freak shows. These like sideshow like events. He knows what he's doing. Nate knows what he's doing too. He knew he wasn't going to go in there and beat Jake. He was going to get in there, talk a bunch of shit, drum up some hype, put some butts in the seats, get a fucking fat bag and dip. That's what he did. So yeah, it was a decent, low-level boxing match. It was an entertaining freak show. What can I say? I didn't hate it. I was high as fuck. I was happy, dude. And I was happy, but what's up, Let's Dance? Hope you had a good weekend. Slow Monday, man. Ain't nobody fucking with me today. Was going to ask people fucking how they did, but just ain't no need for it yet. But yeah, before I get too deep into the show, man, it was a good week. Past week was good. Once again, did not do a ton of tape study and had another successful week of betting. It just didn't matter. Once again, just trusted my instincts, went with my gut, and you see the result and the fruits of the happening. So let's get into UFC Nashville. This will just serve as more of a video, but before we do, a couple quick shout outs, man. Got to do it. First and foremost, shout out to my dude, Aaron the dog. Aaron had himself a wonderful Saturday night. That dude cleaned up, man. Subscribe to this dude's channel if you haven't already. He puts out great content all week. He did it again this past week. I feel incredibly blessed to have been his co-host for the past couple months on his UFC breakdowns. It's one of the highlights of my week. I'm very much looking forward to it this week as well. So make sure y'all tune in, subscribe to his channel. That is the LFA Whisperer. He's a great handicapper. And man, did he fucking put a drubbing on UFC Nashville. Like, yeah, I had a good week. I made some money off the bookies, but he made a lot more. So shout out to him. I know he had a good weekend as far as UFC goes. And yeah, he'll be doing it again this week. Make sure y'all tune in on Wednesday to his UFC breakdowns. He also like he's been going to school full time, so he'll let you know when he puts out the other streams. But yeah, covers LFA, PFL, all that shit. So check him out, man. Trying to get Aaron to 1,000, dude. We getting Aaron the dog to 1,000, or my name ain't 2 motherfucking cents. All right. So yeah, man, check him out. What up, Zach? How was your weekend? What you doing? Tell them all about it, Zach. But yeah, man, subscribe to Aaron the Dog. I was just in the middle of talking about your best bud. Yeah, man, had a great show Wednesday. Aaron killed it. Your boy had a good week. Then Thursday, I was lucky enough to once again appear on the MMA Locker Room Talk podcast. So shout out to the boys at Post Sports Radio. Shout out to Big Show, Money Mills, aka MMA Locker Room, Billy Briz, Nikki Elbows. Wasn't in there Saturday as much as I wanted to be. The fam was in town, so I was in there sporadically here and there, popping in and out. But yeah, man, shout out to those boys. Had a great time on their podcast Thursday. So y'all can check that out, like anywhere you can listen to a podcast. Spreaker, iHeart Radio. I was gonna say iHeart Jane. That's the that's the weed review shit. iHeart Radio, Spotify, all that shit. Check them out. It was a real good time. And then Friday, did the weigh-in show. Pretty good weigh-in show. And let's see what happened. What happened Friday? Yeah, so speaking of the weigh-in show, as I always do, this is who I thought looked good and bad on Friday. So this is one of those weeks where you might say, oh, you're full of shit, 2 cents. Like, the weigh-ins do matter. The fighter that looked better won. The fighter that looked worse lost. Like, yeah. But most of the time, the better fighter wins. Thought Rob Font looked really good. So did Kennedy. Alexa, dude, I said on Friday that Alexa Kane was probably the best looking physically, like physique-wise. Jake Collier, too. Looked like a brick shithouse. Both of them got whooped on. So, yeah. What can I say? But that would be my advice. Just trust your gut, boys. I had another successful weekend, and that's what I did. I did about 0 fucking tape study. About none tape study. I got a few homies up in the chat. Making bets and cashing checks. That sounds like a good weekend to me. When it gets this Hadley pick, thank God. LFA PFL prop sniper. Nice. How about old Cody Durden? Well, we gonna talk about Cody Durden, Bo. We gonna talk about the old Georgia Bo. Who is y'all? You ain't talking to me. I bet Cody Durden, sir. It definitely won't me. Perhaps you're thinking of another podcast. I had Cody locked it in on Sunday. Nice. Yeah, Cody. I think I made my Cody bet. It wasn't a straight bet. I parlayed his money line, and I think I made that bet on Monday or Tuesday. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, no, I definitely did. It's just I do that every week. Yeah, yeah. You and everyone else, you and Bro Picks, and like Durden was a very popular underdog this week. So can we all just enjoy this victory together? Can we all just say that we were on the right side together? So let's see. Let's just go in order. We'll start from the bottom, work our way up to the top. First fight. Asu Almabayev, a rear naked choke, O'Day Osborne. So, man, O'Day Osborne is a really tough fighter for me to get a read on, dude. I never quite know what I'm getting from him. I stayed away from this fight. The pick was Asu Almabayev, but like it pretty much went down like I thought it would. O'Day did look good on the feet, and he usually does until he gets either clipped or makes a grappling mistake or just gets out grappled. I'm going to say this about a couple fighters, and I really feel this way, and I say it a lot, and I know it comes off as disrespectful, but I'm not saying it as some smart ass like, oh well, I think that the only thing for you is to just like fight it like it being a bum organization, and that's not what I'm trying to say, but I am going to say it. I think O'Day Osborne would have a lot more success at Bellator, maybe in PFL. Like, I think he could knock some of those dudes out. I don't know if they do, like, I don't know if they have that weight class because I just don't follow that stuff. I don't follow PFL or LFA or like Bellator. I just don't follow it. But I really do think that he could have more success at one of those other organizations because he has skills. But like, and he beat Charles Johnson, but then it's like, and it's going to sound like I'm being disrespectful to Almabayev too, because I do think Almabayev looked good. I think Almabayev looked better than he did on some of his regional tape against a higher level of competition than he was fighting on the regional. So it's like, he looks like he stepped his game up a little bit. I liked what I saw from him. So it's not like it's totally like, oh, this dude, you lost this newcomer, so you're shit. Like, no, I do think Asu looks pretty good. I like what I saw. And to come in there like O'Day Osborne, regardless of what you think about him, he does have a decent level UFC experience. Like he has, handful, half a dozen fights, So good job from Almabayev. Pretty much what I thought was going to happen, but, I just stayed away from it. But yeah, he looked good. Osborne, and again, man, I think he would be better suited in a lower level organization. I think he'd have more success. It wouldn't totally shock me to see O'Day Osborne become champion in some, regional organization or a second tier organization. He has skills. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. He just seems to find ways to lose fights out of nowhere. But I didn't think this is really out of nowhere. It kind of went down like I thought it would. It was. It really was, man. And I said the same thing. I was like, should be flipped. For some reason, I even said it Friday, dude. Like, as the week went on, I was like, Cody is like, of all the dogs, it's like he is the one I was most confident in by the end of the week. And like, in retrospect, I should have made my core slate. I should have built it around Cody because he, like, by the end of the week, I was like, there's no way Durden's losing. The confidence is there. The experience is there. I know what he's going to fucking do. Like, that just and like I said it throughout the week. Like that's the kind of fighter you like to bet on, especially when they're the underdog. Like so, yeah, I love what I'm seeing from Durden. Hadley's a very skillful fighter, and we'll get to that. But yeah, man, I thought it was pretty pretty straightforward with that one. Like the line should have absolutely been flipped. What's up, EQ? How are you, dude? How was your weekend? I got O'Day next fight. Seems like he'll bounce back from a loss. And that's the thing. It's like he's a tough dude for me to like cap or pick. I always seem to get it wrong. He's just a fighter that I'm like, I just can't get right with him. Win one, lose one with my picks. Like I picked him and bet him successfully. One of the best nights I had last week. I think it's still pinned up on my Twitter profile. Was betting O'Day by knock. Like part of my slate was betting O'Day by knockout against Adeshev. So like I know that he can beat that level of fighter, and he had his moments on the feet against Asu. It's just I don't like. There's just I kind of am getting a better idea of what O'Day's ceiling is, and I think he would whoop ass in Bellator or like a regional organization because he's so quick and like if people like don't really know what they're like he's competitive against good fighters. He just it's like I don't know, man. He's just tough to get a read on. Never counting on O'Day again. Absolutely no ground game. Yeah, he has holes in his ground game. He gets taken down pretty easily by good grapplers, and he has kind of a dodgy chin. But like I just think he could have more success in one of those others. So I'm not saying it is like a shit like you don't belong in the UFC. It's like no, you just might be better suited. You could have like a more successful career. You don't have to like. Not every fighter is going to be successful in the UFC long term. In fact, most of them aren't. So it's not like he fucking sucks. It's just I think he could whoop ass more another organization. And he is not going to be the only fighter I say that about. There's going to be several fighters that I was watching that card and I was like, man, you could whoop motherfuckers' asses in Bellator, or you could maybe get $1 million at PFL for real. But let's move on. Sean Woodson tunes up Dennis Bazookia. Again, pretty much how I thought it would go down. Woodson, man. I like Sean Woodson. He's a good fighter. I just want to see him at lightweight. I just one weight class up, dude. You don't want to go up to 170, 185. I get it. But it just seems like there's a middle ground between heavyweight. Like he's fought at a heavyweight in boxing, and now he's like 140. He just looks so weird. Like, dude, I can't really talk. One, I haven't shown my face on camera on YouTube in years. I'm a twiggy, gangly alien fuck. You would see me and be like, oh, you're just hating on Sean Woodson because you're built similarly to him. Yeah, I also don't weigh 145 pounds. Yeah, I'm twiggy, gangly, alien fuck. But I do weigh 200. It's like there's a middle ground somewhere in between there. That's my only criticism of Woodson. Other than that, he looks like he's developing his game more. The boxing skill's been there for him. It's second nature at this point. So he has the hands. Quick hands, good combos, crisp, good defense, multi-layered defense. Gets boxing. He's got the boxing. Got leg kicks, good powerful knees in the clinch. Ask Terrence McKinney. Yeah, good, quick, good timing on his counters. Pretty good chin. He has been dropped before. Got kind of lit up by Saldana. And that's the thing. It's like, I just think he might be more durable at a weight class up, maybe even 170. That's my only thing with him. But because like at 145, he is so much bigger than all these dudes. And the reach is just restonkulous. Like he's just physical. He has the physical advantages over every featherweight that lives and breathes. and he looked good against Bazooka. But I will say, Bazooka did decent. I thought he was just going to lay down after one round, like go out there, try and clip Woodson, and then just fold up. So credit to him for making it the distance. But yeah, I was never really going to bet Bazooka. Woodson always seemed like the side to me. It wasn't really like, I think he closed at minus 190 or something. Like it was a pretty safe play to me. I didn't have anything to do with it, but it didn't seem like the worst line in the world. I had him versus dude. I did too. I did the same shit. Yeah, I had, yeah, Nam, dude. And that's like, dude. What's funny, EQ, is that fucking fight is what uh made me be like, not only pick Tyson Nam in his last outing, but I was like it was just weird, man. Like I watched that and I was like, oh, he got knocked out by Tyson Nam, but then I was like, oh no, Tyson Nam's good. You know, my fucking dumbass just took that hype over to Nam, and it's like, what am I doing here? Oh shit! Hold up. Well, it's the big show. The big bad show tonight. What up, boy? What are you doing? Shout out to my dude, man. Happy belated. Hope it was a good weekend for you. Big shout out to Big Show Picks. I was putting you over earlier. Thanks again for having me on the podcast. Make sure y'all check that out wherever you can listen to podcasts. Good times, man. Good to see you. Always. Bro, you thought Woodson. I picked him. I picked him. I don't like him at 45. I don't. How can you not bet on a name like Bazooka? Dude, that was totally what it was. People are, oh, Bazooka is gonna fucking bazooka him, bro, like a fucking. Plus Aljo, Ray Longo, and he still lost. Yeah. 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 Woodson was always the pick. I just didn't bet it. Yeah, man, for sure. He did, man. I mean, it's so funny, too. You're always a prisoner of the moment. I'm no different. Yes, I talk a lot of shit, and I mean a lot. So sometimes, yes, you will catch me talking out of both sides of my mouth. Yes, I'm a fucking hypocrite. A lot of time, the shit I bitch about other people doing, I'll turn around and do the same shit myself. So yes, you're more than welcome to point that out. Like Zach Johnson made me look stupid in front of thousands of people. Got this massive audience. And you just fucking cyberbully. God damn, Zach, you're such a fucking cyberbully, dude. Made me look stupid in front of all my friends. Unreal. So yeah, man, I thought Woods, but again, it's like it's Bazooka, yeah, but credit to Bazooka for hanging tough. That's not the. Sorry, waiting for my Wi-Fi to return. Apologies, audio issues. Nothing new there. you just got to be able to like if you cover in the fights all the time, it's just like you just catch yourself doing it. And I'll like there's times sometimes I like I'll see evidence where it's like, no, you need to change your outlook on this fight. And I just won't do it. I'll just hang on to this one performance, good or bad, where it's like, no, they look good in this one fighter. They look shitty, so they'll never have success again. It's like I fall into that trap sometimes. Anyways, let's talk about the fucking hot shit. Let's get to this fucking. This was one of the highlights for sure of the night. I know a lot of the homies were on Cody Durden, so this was fun. This was a good time for the boys. It was pretty much smiles all around. A lot of people, this was their night right there. I mean, for a wrestler, for someone that has like been criticized for not doing much with it, he actually made this into a pretty entertaining fight. I love that bit at the end. I mean, for all the snoozers and like womp womp kind of performances, like this was fun. This honestly might have spoiled the crowd. They're like, hell yeah, Bo. Cody whooping that ass. And it's like I'm sure they just wanted to see more of it. You know them old drunk Tennessee boys, they want to see more of that. But yeah, man, that was a good time. Hey, dude, Durden looked good on the feet too. And I did say that. I did call that shit. I think it was Wednesday I was saying it. Like, Cody Durden has boxing and kickboxing experience. And he looked like the better striker to me, dude. He kept cracking Hadley with that right hand. He hit him with a pull counter a couple times. Like, Cody's got good striking. And speaking like moving forward, dude, Cody have something here, boys. Because what I like about Durden is that he's not someone that's going to get too discouraged. Like he has a loss, but he's like, I'm not going to let that derail my career. He learns from it. He improves. I love the mentality. Durden has the mentality. He also has the wrestling acumen. He knows what he's good at. He will go to it. And he's not incompetent on the feet. I would say I did call that shit. I was like, he's got boxing, dude. He got hands. Cody's got hands. He's got wrestling shoes. He's starting to get it together with the promos a little bit. Promos are getting a little better, a little tighter. And yeah, he's tuning like some of the like, you know. I mean, the last 10 seconds of that fight, like that was probably one of the highlights of UFC Nashville, dude. Fucking Ryland. Yeah, USA, Bo Dick. He gave him the suck it, dude. I mean, come on, man. It was all in good fun, though, man. And that's another thing I like too, man. I've softened on Durden. I didn't used to like Durden, but I was just like, okay, this guy's just a little bit misunderstood. Going a little bit too hard on Cody. He's a Bobo from Georgia, and he's a pretty damn good fighter. And he can wrestle his fucking ass off, dude. Fighting out of that fucking armbar, he had to fight out of the guillotine too. That was a tight guillotine. There's only 10 seconds left. I don't know if this is fight of the night would almost be disrespectful to Durden because dude, other than that arm bar, and I'm not saying it was nothing because that motherfucker was deep. And he like grimaced through that shit for like 60 seconds. Just his arm getting fucking pulled the wrong way. like it's almost, you could almost like feel phantom pain in your own like elbow tendons. Like, oh my God, what would that feel like? Oh my God. Good shit though, man. Cody busted him up, kept cracking him with that right hand. Wrestle fucked the shit out of him. I mean, I'm sorry. That I have another nominee for fight of the night. That was a good fight. But really, Hadley had a moment. He had that moment in the second round. The guillotine, I really think that like Cody would have ended up fighting out of that guillotine if there was more time. But that armbar, ooh, buddy, that I mean that a lot of people would have tapped that. Not because they couldn't have ended up getting out of it, but like I don't know if people, a lot of people would have wanted to fight through that pain. So Cody Durden, you know, he's got heart, got wrestling, he's got striking, he's got a good mentality. So yeah, I'm really interested to see the fights they give him because he's still pretty young, and yeah, building up that Riz too. So yeah, War Cody Durden. Very happy to put him in one of my parlays that ended up making my night instantly successful when it cashed. So yeah, shout out to Cody Durden and everyone else that was on him. Smiles all around, boys. Cheers. Cheers, gentlemen. The flavor of the day is GMO, aka garlic cookies, crossed with Skywalker OG. GMO X Skywalker OG. Whoosh. Whoosh. Yeah, tune him up. USA, USA, USA. Yeah. Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, like it's getting better. It's definitely getting less cringy. It's getting like he's starting to do it with a purpose now instead of just going off emotions. Like, okay, I do have a message I want to say here, and I've been it's getting less cringy. I'm definitely I can say I'm a Cody Durden fan now. I'm not gonna say I'm a stan, but I didn't really used to care for Durden. He's definitely won me over. Not kind of, he definitely has. And that was Hadley's a legit prospect too. So like for Durden to like take Hadley's best and give it back to him and end up, you know, putting a stamp on it like that. That's what you like to see, man. All right. I am really upset with myself about this because I was on Billy Quarantillo all week. I picked Billy Quarantillo on Aaron's show Wednesday, picked him on the Pub Podcast Thursday, picked him Monday on my show, picked him Friday on my show, bet Billy, and I thought I had picked him on Tapology, but for some fucking, and it was probably when I was just scrolling through it real quick, I must have accidentally hit Damon Jackson. So on Tapology, if you go and look at it, I picked Damon Jackson like a fucking moron. Accidentally, of course, but that shit, you might not be saying like, who cares? No big deal. Like, I take my predictions pretty seriously. And so to just make some dumb fucking error like that, it didn't really end up affecting me that much. Like, it wasn't the difference between a winning night and a losing night, but it's just frustrating and irritating because it would have helped my percentage even just a little bit more. But I'm not too pissed, or I'm not as pissed as I would have been, because at least I didn't fuck it up when I went to make the bet. But that shit like that just kind of just like, really? It was that fucking stupid. And I don't normally do that shit. But yeah, Billy Q walks down, and I will give Damon Jackson credit. Damon Jackson hung tough when he could have folded up because he got bodied, dude. He was getting bodied. He didn't get bodied like body to me is like you get stopped with a body shot or you crumple up or something. Like he was getting bodied. And he hung tough. He was hurt several times in that fight. It was a pretty good fight. If you said this was fight of the night, I'm not going to be like, you're fucking wrong. Like, it was a pretty good fight. I thought it was pretty clear that Billy won, though. I don't see really what the controversy was. I mean, I know what I think it is. It's that people love Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson definitely gets that Texas love. Shout out to the whole Texas, man. I'm not hating with anybody for riding with their dude. I'm not hating anyone for picking or betting Jackson. But like to think that he won after the fact, it's like that's just a little biased, man. Like Billy was whooping his ass. Damon, like even if you thought 2 and 3 was not. Come on, man. Like Jackson is backing up the whole getting bodied and cracked in the head and wobbled. It happened like over a half a dozen times. This fight was not hard to score at all. 29-28 Billy Quarantillo. That's the correct score. And that was the correct score because Billy won. And just, so yeah, man, my message, this is a cautionary tale. It seriously doesn't even need to be told this, which is why it pisses me off so much. Double, triple check your fucking picks. Thumb scrolling. I just want to make sure. Let me look at my picks and fucking, admire my own picks like a fucking weirdo. And I must have accidentally hit Jackson somewhere. You know what? Sorry, I'm having audio issues. Apologies. But yeah, man, where it counted, I did the right thing, but that just very frustrating. But I did have Billy Q by knockout. So shout out to Damon Jackson. He did bust his parlay. Bozer would have ended up doing it as well, but not too upset about that. I got Billy after round one at plus 300. It changed from plus 400. Yeah, and that was really shout out to anybody that did that. That really was the smart way to play that. Like, Billy all almost how funny is that too? It is just like clockwork. Billy Quarantillo, like death, taxes, and Billy Quarantillo dropping round one. Ain't it though? Won't it? He does it every time. Drops round one, and then just like a snowball rolling down a fucking Himalayan mountain. Definitely. And like, really, it's crazy that they still do that too. where it's like, y'all, how do the books not know at this point? Like, Billy Q's going to come back. They just had people just, I'm sure people just ate that shit up. The sharps ate that shit up. Books had Damon Jackson at minus odds after round one. I smashed, but nice. Yeah, that's what you do, man. Y'all were on it. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, y'all let me know, man. Anytime it sounds weird in the chat, just let me know. It does it really it I would rather know that it sounds like shit so I can address the issue. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's like it's just like clockwork. You know Billy's gonna drop the first round, and then you can just it's just wild to me. Like it's not like they wouldn't ever not do it just because they know he's gonna come back, but like, why would you make it that big? You know what's gonna happen, man. Billy has ridiculous cardio. Damon Jackson, that's another thing. That seems to be something that like another thing that has been starting to help me is like, and I mentioned it with Durden too. When you know, when you can count on a fighter to do certain things, you can just count on Cody Durden going to that wrestling. Dude, I even said this earlier this past week. He's talking about knocking Jake Hadley out, so you know it's going to decision. You know Cody Durden's going to wrestle. You know Billy Quarantillo is going to lose the first round, and he's going to come on strong in the second and third. And you know Damon Jackson's going to gas. This seemed like this two piece right here was the core of my slate. This and a dog play that's coming up immediately after this. That was the core of my slate. So when these two hit, I mean, I didn't know it was going to hit till the end of the night, but I felt pretty good about it. Like Corey was the L word for me, and it ended up being that. So yeah, shout out to Billy Q. And yeah, word to the wise, always double check your lineups and your predictions and all that shit. Double, triple check it. Let's fucking go, dude. Big shout out to Carlson Harris. Big shout out to my dude Aaron the dog. Hey, man, Aaron the dog will tell you himself. He will make his biases known. He will be forthcoming about it. He's a big Carlston Harris backer. Aaron the dog was on Carlston Harris all week. Your boy 2 Cents was on Carlston Harris all week. This was the first bet I made. Could I have gotten a better line? Probably. I can't actually remember what Carl. Apologies for the audio, boys. I know it sounds rough. It's going in and out. Man, this is another one where I was like, should this be fight of the night? But like, it really wasn't that back and forth until Carlson won it. Like, it was pretty much all Jeremiah Wells. I'll explain to y'all why I have the fight of the night, why I have it. But to me, this was looking like all Jeremiah Wells. So it was almost looking like a performance of the night for Wells. And then like Harris just pulled it out of his ass like that. Because he did, man. This I can't think of a better comeback this year that ended that definitively. There might be a knockout or so where a dude victory from that shit. Wells went out Yeah. Really sorry about the audio shit. It's really starting to piss me off. I'm trying to keep my cool, but it's really starting to get under my skin. Hey, can't win them all. Can't win off either because, like, look how much success he was having. Wells has still got skills and will absolutely still win fights. Big time. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. That is very similar to Leon. Like he was getting his ass beat the whole fight. So it's like it's hard to call that fight of the night. Fight of the night to me is where it is like back and forth the whole time. Like maybe you know who won the round, but it was still a close round. Like that. I there was a fight like that on this card, and I'll get to it here in a second. But to me, this is like I would definitely give Carlson Harris a performance bonus, but like to say it was fight of the night, like it wasn't really that back and forth. It was like he was getting worked and was losing the third round too, and then boom. But like that's a sick anaconda choke, man. Harris got a squeeze on him because apparently he didn't have the right angle for it, and Wells was doing what he was supposed to do to defend it, but Harris, his grip was so tight, and he had it cinched up so well that it didn't matter. But yeah, shout out to my dude Aaron the dog. He was on Harris all week. I did the same thing. Catch it, boys. Guyana's finest in action. Felt good, man. That one felt good. That was a battleground fight, dude. I was not like I'm not saying me and Aaron were the only ones on Harris, but it seemed to be split. The community definitely seemed to be split. Even on a lot of the bigger shows, that the host and co-host will be split on it. In fact, I'm trying to think of another show this past week where everyone was on Harris because it seemed to either be split or people were on Wells. Not Aaron the Dog MMA though. Subscribe to that channel if you're not already. So yeah, man. Now what I had done is the locker room talk parlay was Wells Harris ends inside the distance. That's why I called it the spirit of the locker room parlay because this was really a mutation. This was going to be my hedge spot for Harris and Andrade because I bet Jessica, but like this was I should have known that I should have just stuck with my gut with Harris and not hedge it out. But whatever, Kennedy would have busted it anyway. Kennedy was a real letdown for a lot of people this week. I mean Corey by KO, but I mean it just never would work. But again, this was not the official parlay. It's just my little mutation. But yeah, man, Carlson Harris, baby. Boom. Comeback of the year, I say. Unless y'all think of one better. Wells was all over him like stink on shit. He almost had a Darce. I know it's a different choke, but he almost had a Darce. He almost had several submissions in that fight. So for Harris to survive, come back like that. What was the one? That arm triangle, dude. That arm triangle was fucking deep. And Wells is a big fucking dude. Harris was grimacing and shit too, man. So yeah, that's comeback of the year to me. He said the name of the anaconda choke in Guyanian or whatever. I forget what it was, but he's like, In Guyana, that's the something something show. But yeah, it was sick. You're most welcome, Lobby. What are you doing? How was your weekend? He was, and he was. Like he had the right game plan. He was winning the fight. He just went to the wells too many times. Am I right, boys? Am I right? Be here all week. Be sure to tip your waitress. You like that one? Jack would like that. Shout out to my dude, the homie, Alex Ramirez, the leader of the greatest group chat in the world, the motherfucking Dome. What's going on, man? How was your weekend? So yeah, that felt good, man. That felt really good. And I was feeling good because I was almost certain that Corey was going to win. And that's why I made that the core of it. It was like, okay, if Harris hits and Quarantillo hits, I am almost positive that Corey is going to beat Font. And so I was feeling good at that point. Now, moving right along. To me, this was fight of the night. This was the most back and forth. They're both landing. They're both having success with takedowns. There's some gnarly scrambles. I was entertained from start to finish. It was neither what there weren't too many boring moments. For 15 minutes, I was entertained. And I didn't have to think about it too hard. I didn't have a dog in this race or a horse or whatever else in the fuck. I it wasn't in the end, it was clear that Kyler Phillips had won to me, but it was still fun to watch. And Barcelos definitely had his moments, or Barcelos, whatever. He cracked Kyler a few times, took him down, landed some ground and pound a little bit here and there. So yeah, to me, this was fight of the night. But he did drop Howney. He won. It wasn't that hard to score, but it was entertaining. Yeah, he passed on Stipe's little buddy. Well, he was little buddy, all right. Telling you, man. Telling you. But hey, dude, this right here felt really fucking good. This one, dude. Now look, Cody Durden, a lot of the bros on Cody Durden, a lot of the homies on Durden, a lot of the sharps on Durden. Same with Harris. Some of the homies were on Harris. Some of the homies were on Klein too, but not as many. Most of the community was on Ignacio Bahamondes. Most of the community. I feel like most of the money was on him. Everyone was talking about everyone. No one would shut the fuck up about Ignacio Bahamondes knocking out Roosevelt Roberts. A dude that's on tough trying to get back in the UFC and go in tooth and nail with Austin Thud Hubbard. What did I fucking say? What did I fucking say all week? This is another one. Your boy and Aaron the dog was on it. I like Aaron's nickname for him, Fraudamundes. And when I say fraud, I don't mean bum. I mean he ain't what he's being advertised as. He is fraudulent as far as this contender that you think he is. Thinking losing to John Makdessi is some one-off. To me, I have always looked at Bahamondes sideways since then because I picked Makdessi. And I was like, dude, I was not overly impressed with the tape I saw on Ignacio. And it seems like every time there's like some kind of red flag with him or like he's getting busted up. Dude, people are like, oh no, he's young. He's young. No, he's 22. He's gonna get better. It's just that's his debut. Just like there's always some kind of excuse when he looks sketchy. And then look at who he's beating. So what did I fucking say all week? Klein is better than the fucking jabronis that Ignacio Bahamondes has been beating. And dude, I don't know. People are giving Klein too hard of a time. He had a bad performance against Herbert, who's, for everything else that Jai Herbert is, he is a pretty decent striker. And it wasn't just the McDessie fight. Roosevelt, dude, I'm sorry. Roosevelt Roberts is a jobber. He's a jobber. He's a UFC, maybe a UFC second chancer. I don't know if they're going to re-sign him, but he got cut from the UFC. And that's like, people tout that up as like, that's Bahamondes is like Sistine Chapel is wheel kicking Roosevelt Roberts. Like, no, that's a jobber win. Ogden is a fucking jobber that was being hyped up as something that he's not. And what do you know? So is Ignacio fucking Bahamondes. This felt so fucking good. So yeah. Cash the triple dog dare ya parlay. I triple dog dare ya to fade these fucking dogs, dude. Durden is a fucking dog. So is Harris and Ludovic Klein. Harris, yes. Woo! Just thanking my lucky stars for that one. But Durden and Klein, they were always the fucking side, dude. So yeah. Feast your eyes on that one, boys. Y'all like nice big old odds for a parlay? How about that? You like that, do you? 1360. Not bad, huh? Not bad for a little piker. That was my night right there. We're in the money. We're green right there, boys. Dang. Brother, you were not the only one. You were not the only one that got bamboozled by Bahamondes. Everyone. I know, it's just, he's not that fast, dude. He was getting beat to the punch. Ludovic was way quicker. Way quicker. Ignacio Rob. What's up, homie Noah? What So yeah, man, that one felt really, really fucking good. Your boy was all smiles from then on out. And I tell you what else felt good. I tell you what else felt good. I didn't make an avatar for this one because I was running out of space. But what did I fucking tell you all about this one too, dude? What did I fucking say all week? Alexa Kamer fucking sucks at the UFC level. Now, this is what I was saying about Ode Osborne. Alexa Kamer is not without value as a fighter. I just don't think he's a UFC level fighter. I don't think he's completely worthless as a fighter. I think he could knock some motherfucking PFL blocks off, dude. I think he could take some heads off in Bellator. I'm being serious, too. I'm not saying this is an insult, like, huh, you just belong in Bellator. Like, no, dude. I for real think he could knock some fucking heads off, just like Ode Osborne. That if I'm his manager or whatever, like, why don't we look at seeing you ain't all. I don't know, man. It's really frustrating. I guess I won't ever understand it because I'm not a fighter, but like, dude, dude, I know there is a certain level of delusion and just belief in yourself that you have to have as a fighter. But I think it also is important to be realistic and to be practical and pragmatic when it's needed. Alexa Kamer is never going to have a high level of success in the UFC. Same with O'Day Osborne. And I just think it would like guys like that are just really seem like they want to like it seems like they both are serious about being fighters and making that their career. And I just think they would have more success and they would realize success and more happiness at a different organization. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, I don't know why people were acting like Tanner Boser is the worst fighter they've ever seen for losing to Iwan Kutalaba. I still think that was an early stoppage. I still think Kutalaba was about to gas his fucking ass off and Boser was going to stop him in the second round. But he got stopped. He got caught. He got stopped. But Alexa Kamer, the dude lost to William Knight. Come on, man. That's Stipe's little buddy. Y'all just need to admit that you were trying to fade Boser. And I was like, it's not like I don't get it, but man, like, Kamer just ain't a UFC level fighter. And that's okay. But can we say that now? Can we finally admit that? And I really do think it was like that split against Nikolai is so misleading. Kamer clearly lost that fight. He has he is getting close. He is close to a Shannon Ross level of defense where it's like his head is a magnet for head strikes. Like did he slip or dodge or block one punch? Because I feel like every punch that Tanner Boser threw landed on target. Like he beat the fucking Christ out of him. I don't know what better way to describe it. Like he fucked him up. Credit to Kamer for not getting knocked out because there seemed like there were a couple of times where he was just like rebooting. Like he was just like frozen in place. Like Alexa Kamer was like my fucking Wi-Fi, just like short circuiting. Everyone was hating on Tanner Boser. Stipe's little buddy is going to do what? Going to do what? Oh, dude. I'm sorry, brother. Kennedy broke so many hearts. I'll got to give him credit for that, right? Hey, saying. Got to agree with you there, bro. Like, he's got to fight. Like, is he a poor man's Vettori without the grappling skill? I would say as far as like durability where he can just like, you can just dome him. Like, I'm not saying Tanner Boser is like Wilder or something, but like, dude, or I'm not saying he's like Ngannou, but like, you know, I did say, man, Boser's got some pop in his punches. He's not exactly pillow-fisted. He's that's only his like second decision win in the UFC. He has 3 wins by knockout. 5 wins total in the UFC. 3 of them are by knockout. So I figured he would have the striking advantage and he would be landing the heavier punches. I still am like not a big believer in Boser at 205 or Boser in general, but it was so funny that people were trying to fade Boser with the worst fighter. It's like, it is so fucking clear that Kamer is the worst fighter. Seriously, this was completely a levels fight through and through. Never understood the Kamer love. Unless you're a huge Stipe stan. And then he's, you know, to y'all, he's probably the prince that was promised, but it ain't happening. Diego Lopez armbars Gavin Tucker. Don't have too much to say about it. Pretty much what I thought would happen. Gavin Tucker, another one. where you talk to him and he says all the right things. I have aspirations to do this, that, and the third at Bellator. Seriously, I think Gavin Tucker will have success in Bellator or PFL or LFA. Same with Alexa Kamer, same with Ode Osborne. I'm not saying these guys are shit fighters. I'm not saying they have no worth or value as fighters. They do. I'm saying this in good faith. I truly do believe they could realize even championship level success at just the next tier down. For real. Look at some of the other guys that have done it. OAM won PFL. Sean Connolly, the lovable Sean Connolly, won PFL. Now, this was probably the low point of the night. Well, not emotionally, but as far as missed opportunities and being on the wrong side, this is the biggest piece of crow I have to eat. Well, the biggest piece is accidentally picking fucking Damon Jackson. That was just frustrating. But I was just wrong here, dude. I was wrong. I thought this was going to be another classic, like 3 fighters, each one has a win over the other. Kennedy was supposed to be the prince that was promised. He was supposed to fulfill the prophecy. He was supposed to complete the triangle theory. And what can I say, man? Jacoby stopped him right in his tracks. Credit to anyone that was on Jacoby. Shout out to Lou Betcha. I know Jacoby's his dude. I can almost guarantee you that Lou bet Dustin Jacoby. So I'm sure he enjoyed that. Shout out to anyone else that was on Jacoby. Total crow for me. I don't know what else to say, man. I was really confident in Kennedy. I said that all week that I trusted him more if things got hairy. He got caught. That's a pattern now too with Kennedy. And I said this during the week that I like the fact that he was able to get hurt by Olberg and come back. He was able to get hurt by Kutalaba and come back. But this is a pattern now that has emerged. Kennedy is now I can say a notoriously slow starter. If he can weather the initial storm, he's good to go. But now it's shown sometimes he can't. Sometimes you smoke a good one across his chin, and that's gonna be all she wrote. I mean, look at Don Jones, just out of nowhere, and he's gone. Jacoby out of nowhere, boom, he's gone. It's like it's frustrating. It's like I thought I had a bit of a good read on Kennedy. Like, okay, I know where he's at now. I can trust him in the spot. And it's like, man, hey, dude, shout out to anybody that was on Jacoby. I don't have anything to say like, oh no, it was the right side. He just got caught. It's like, nah, man, like Jacoby was the side. Just crispy counter cross. Dang. Nice. Jacoby Goat, try to warn y'all, Kennedy, good anti-wrestler, but durability always shows up against strikers. Well played, sir. Well spoken, sir. Excuse me. Well done, man. Good shit. Oh, it was a heartbreaker, dude. This busted the Zhang Li. Every leg of the Zhang Li hit but fucking Kennedy. And Aaron and I were both on Kennedy. Confidently. God damn it. Damn it, boys. Yeah, Kennedy broke some hearts this weekend, dude. And yeah, man, shout out to anybody that was on Jacoby. Good shit, man. It was just wrong. This one, too. This one is tough because Andrade was looking good. She was stuffing the takedowns. She was keeping it on the feet. She was starting to look like she was having success on the feet, especially towards the end of the first round. But Jessica has a couple fatal flaws. One of them is the fight IQ, and the other is the chin. And the fight IQ showed. What in the world? Homie Jessica, what in the world were you fucking thinking? Pulling Gilly on Tatiana Suarez. The second she did that, I was like, oh my gosh, she really just fucking did that. She really just fucking do that. I didn't even have to look at it. As soon as she pulled the guard, I was like, oh my God, you just lost. You just lost. You're about to lose. So that one was frustrating. I've gone down with worse ships, man. I'll die on Andrade Hill, dude. Jessica's still the homie. And people are going to shit on her for this. And yeah, she made a mistake, but that's why it's like such a bad mistake. It's like, dude, that's Suarez. She's the best wrestler in WMMA right now. She out-wrestled Carla Esparza, who's the other best wrestler. Like, Suarez is a nasty grappler. She got man strength. Come on, Jess. Come on, dude. You're better than that. That's the other thing that's frustrating. I know she's better than that. She looked better than that. She was having a lot more success than I thought she would have early. Just, I don't know. But yeah, she's not, as long as she's losing to bums, like she's losing to Tatiana Suarez and Erin Blanchfield. You know what I'm saying? Oh well. It happens. I didn't go heavy on it. It didn't cost me my night, so I'm okay. I'm okay biting the fucking bullet and eating crow. That's the homie. Will always be a big Andrade supporter. That's definitely one of my ride or die fighters for sure. Yeah, exactly, man. When she's the hammer in the grappling, it's Gucci. But she's a really bad nail when the grappling. She's a really bad nail, period, honestly. Like when Jessica's a nasty hammer. She just is. Like smoked Calvillo, smoked Chikagan when Chikagan makes a lot of decent fighters look stupid. Jessica smokes her, smoked Andrade. Like if you don't have grappling, like if you're not a beast grappler and you're not a dangerous striker, Jessica's gonna fuck you up. But like she usually just loses to the best most of the time. Even Yan Xiaonan, like Yan is, trying to put a run together, and that's one of her worst losses in recent years. Her other losses are like, the up and comers, Suarez, Blanchfield, or it's like Valentina, Rose, Joanna, Wiley. It's like she only loses to the cream of the gut. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's all good. Ain't a damn thing changed. I'm out right with Jessica again. Fuck it. All right, don't have too much to say about this. We'll make this one short and sweet. Y'all know what happened. We all saw it. 50-45 Corey. Ain't shit to talk about, really. I mean, did he not look like a minus 700 favorite? Did Rob Font have anything for him? No. So as boring as it was, what did fucking Rob Font do besides sit there for 25 minutes? So yeah, it was boring as shit. And I tell you what, man, it's fine. This is the message to Corey Sandhagen. This is my official State of the Union address for Corey Sandhagen. You can't have it both ways, Corey. You want to secure the win, make sure you get the dub, make sure you get the win money. That's fine. I have no problem with you doing that, providing for your family, whatever. Buy your mom a new house, whatever. I don't give That's fine. But you cannot put in a performance like that in the spot that you did, knowing that the UFC is not only a fight promotion, but it's an entertainment company. And when you are in the main event spot and you just phone it in like that and don't really make a concerted effort to find the finish, brother, you might have just walked yourself into a dance with Aljo's cuck. And I'm being serious too. Dana might book Corey versus Merab purely out of spite. Hey, Merab needs a dance partner. Aljo's about to fight Sean O'Malley. We don't know how that fight's going to go. Striker versus grappler. I tend to think if Aljo does what he does, he'll win. If it's on the feet, there's a good chance O'Malley can knock him out. But regardless, there are other top bantamweights that are in need of a man dance partner, if you know what I'm saying. And one of them is Sterling's cuck. Bet your sweet ass they are going to use, knowing that they're both best buddies and aren't going to fight each other, which is corny as fuck, but whatever. If you two are that fucking gay for each other, fine. What they're going to do, this is what I think they're going to do. They're going to use Merab to turn away the contenders that Aljo doesn't want to fight. So let's say Aljo's like, nah, I don't know if I'm going to give Corey the rematch just now. If you can beat Merab, I'll give you a rematch. Kind of shit. It wouldn't surprise. Would it really surprise y'all? So like Corey thinking that like that performance makes him a shoe-in. You obviously have not been watching Dana White for the last 20, 30 years. What does Dana say, boys? Y'all already know. What does Dana say? I don't give a fuck. So you can't put in a performance like that and then be like, oh, I deserve the title shot. Like I said, you might just got yourself a date with Merab. I'm being serious. What y'all think about that? Really? It's not boxing? Wow, Lobby. Thanks for the fucking tip. It is. Sterling and Merab are gay for each other, and that's fine. I don't even hate him for it, but like, does that not look like what they're doing? They both just like, no, we're not going to fight each other and snicker about it. And then like, okay, cool. Well, who are you going to fight, Merab? Probably the guys that Aljo doesn't, right? Yeah, maybe they just make, but Cejudo needs a dance partner too. Gotta give Henry somebody. Maybe Cejudo versus Jan. I think Jan needs a dance partner too. Maybe they run Corey, but like thinking that, I mean, clearly won. That's not what we're talking about. But thinking that that's like makes you the placeholder, like, nah, dude, 135 is top heavy. It's kind of a logjam, honestly. And you already lost to Jan. Dude, I'm telling you, that might okay. You want to be a wrestler? All right, try and do that shit against Merab. Because Merab ain't gonna fight his buddy. Who's he gonna fucking fight? He's running out of dance partners too. Give him Corey. Got to give Umar. Maybe you make Umar versus Cejudo. Maybe you make Umar versus Jan. I don't know. Maybe they do rebook Umar versus Corey. I don't know. I just thinking you're just like, oh, I'm next in line for the title. I don't. You might want to pump the brakes on that one, brother. You just turned in one of the lamest main event performances in a few months. One of the lamer main event performances of the year. Not saying he didn't dominate, but that was, and thank you for cashing. Thank you, by the way, for putting a nice little cherry on top of my night. But from a fan's perspective or entertainment value or for your motherfucking title aspirations, you left a little bit to be desired, Corey. You ain't going to have that kind of success against Aljo or Marab or Cejudo. You couldn't really hang with Jan on the feet. Not really. Not towards the end. You end up knocking you on your ass a couple times. And like, you know, maybe you give him O'Malley if he loses to Aljo. I don't know, man. It was just, I felt the same way everyone else did. It's like, okay, cool. Thanks for the win. Thanks for the money. But, you know, as a fan, womp, 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 womp. Yeah, it's a good point. I don't know, man. You're the fight camp whisperer, dude. You got your ear closer to the streets than me on that. But that was it, boys. That was UFC Nashville in a nutshell. So yeah. Little cherry on top. Now, technically, if you go to Tapology, it's 9-3. And I do have it calculated correctly. I didn't try and manipulate the numbers for Tapology. The Tapology numbers up here are accurate. I did calculate it as 9-3. Don't worry. This is the same numbers it has on Tapology because my dumbass accidentally hit Jackson. Whatever. Even so, still moving up. These are the kind of weeks that I want. 10-2, 9-3, even 8-4s. I will take those all day. Keep them coming. Working back up to what we were sitting at, which is 63. Wasn't at 64 for that long, but I was trending upwards towards 65% and then just took a dip. But we're headed back on this part of the streak. So this is what we were sitting at before got back in the green for only the second time this year. This is what we were sitting at before. And we had another big old weekend. Even a little piker like me had a big weekend. Won 5 units, 3.2 after getting my money back. And you know what? You know what that makes it now? We worsened at this, and now 2.8 plus 3.2. You know what that makes, gentlemen? We are up 6 units on the year. Let's fucking go, boys. Your old bud TC is back. Now that's a little bit more fucking like it. Let's go, baby. Yeah, if Aljo moves up, he'll be the fucking the cuck master. I like it. I like the matchmaking. So yeah, man. It was a good weekend for betting. It was kind of a lame fight card for viewing, but got the job done. There were some entertaining fights. They didn't all suck, but overall, like, wow, Corey, thanks for giving us a blistering fucking main event, dude. Yeah, I know, right? We've been disagreeing a lot in the last few weeks, last few fight cards. But yeah, man, that's what's up, dude. Yeah, boys. So yeah, this is going to be an hour and 45-minute stream. I think that's what we're going to do. Take another toke. I think I'm going to get on out of here. So, being that I am getting short on streaming time for the month, I don't know if I'm going to be back on Friday. I might be. But I do have to save a little time for the recap on Monday. So we'll just see. Maybe I do a quick Thursday stream or something. As long as I leave 5 minutes or just a couple minutes so I can start the stream on Monday, I'll be fine. But if I do the weigh-ins and I can't do like a 2-hour normal weigh-in stream. So I got to think of what I'm going to do. I'll either do like a come in late at the weigh-ins and finish it up, do the stare downs, or I'll just do a short stream on Thursday and make my my picks and shit official and bets and stuff. But yeah, be on lookout for that. I'll let you know. Make sure y'all subscribe to Aaron the Dog MMA and tune in on Wednesday. Aaron and myself will be covering UFC Vegas 78. So subscribe to his channel, tune in, turn on the notifications. Also check out the MMA Locker Room Talk podcast. There's a chance I might be on that again this Thursday. So shout out to those boys, Big Show, Mills, Billy. And yeah, man, shout out to the boys over at Pub in general. Hope everyone has a great week. Shout out to the motherfucking Dome, the best group chat in the world. Appreciate the boys being in here this afternoon. It was a good time. Hey, man, I'm happy to guest appear on shows. I love doing the show. I love talking shit about fights. Making some clout bets, dude. I love it, dude. There's nothing I love more than being right about a fighter that a lot of people were counting out. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like, I love that fucking feeling. And making a little money at it. It's the best, man. But nah, man, this is a lot of fun to me. So yeah, shout out to Aaron and shout out to the boys at Pub that have been having me on the podcast. It's been a really good time, man. And yeah, so far so good, boys. 2023 started out rough. The first half was really it was a trying experience, very frustrating mentally, but we're headed in the right direction. Now up 6 units. We're going to make it 3 weeks in a row, too. 3 winning weeks in a row. We're going to try and get into, not even on the next week, but I think that's going to be my goal. That will be my goal. That is now my goal. By the end of 2023, to be up double-digit units. That's not going to be a short-term goal. That's a long-term goal. And I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm not going to start betting 5 units every fight card. I'm going to stick to the script, trust my instincts. It worked again this week. Just trusting my gut. Usually I can only do that with fighters that I'm familiar with, but that's what's been working for me lately. If I'm familiar with both these fighters, remember a lot, most of their fights, that's how I've been cashing. So yeah, best of luck this week, boys. I don't think I'm going to stream tomorrow and do like a preview or anything. Dana White Contender Series is tomorrow. I may have some bets on that. If I make them official, I'll put them in the chat or may do a stream. In fact, maybe that's what I do in lieu of a Friday stream. So be on the lookout, man. If I decide I'm going to do something, I'll let everyone in the dome know. Might put it out on Twitter. So yeah, man. Shout out to everyone that came through. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Put on a song and just get the fuck up out of here. So yeah, it was not an incredibly busy stream, but I do appreciate everyone that came through. Talk some shit with your boy. We'll hopefully doing some celebrating after UFC Nashville. It was a very successful weekend for me. Headed in the right direction and looking to keep that going this week. Got UFC Vegas 78 coming up. Later this evening, tomorrow, I will be spending my time looking over the fights, seeing how I feel about them. If I need to do tape study on fights I'm unfamiliar with, I will. But I'm going to just go with that, man. The making my own lines work for me. But the last couple weeks, it's just been just trusting myself. Trusting my instincts, trusting my gut. That's what's been working. So it's going to be a combination of that, man. See what happens. But appreciate everyone that came through. Once again, shout out and salute to my dude, Aaron the Dog MMA. He fucking killed it this weekend. He's going to do the same thing this coming weekend. I know it. So is your boy. Make sure y'all tune in Wednesday. Aaron and myself will be covering UFC Vegas 78. Tune in Thursday to the MMA Locker Room Talk podcast. Check that out wherever you can listen to podcasts. Shout out to the boys at Pub Sports Radio. I will be in there again Saturday night. Talking my shit, hopefully cashing some more bets. And I am going to win that contest again. I'm determined to get my black belt in the Pub Sports Radio contest realm. I've won it twice. Won it 2 weeks ago. I'm going to win it again. So shout out to them. Shout out to everyone in the Dome, man. The best group chat in the world. Y'all are the shit. I appreciate all the support. You know I'm going to be up in there every day pretty much. So y'all have a good one, man. And yeah, I think that's about all I got, boys. Thanks again. This has been just my 2 cents, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace!